Open-world games in 2025 are all about map markers and checklists, but these Switch titles dare to try something different. Welcome back to Switch Game List, and here's the list. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is bringing racing to Hong Kong Island, letting you join either the Streets or Sharps groups. The focus isn't just on racing. You'll spend time buying properties, hanging at clubs, and building your reputation. It's more about the lifestyle than pure racing, which is a bit different from what racing fans might expect. The driving mechanics from previous games have been hit or miss, so keep that in mind. They're trying to make the social aspects a big deal, but we'll have to see if it actually adds anything meaningful to the gameplay. At least the Hong Kong map looks detailed. The Knightling puts you in a world where you've been shrunk down to tiny size. Everything normal becomes massive. Pencils are like logs, cups are buildings, and regular bugs are now boss fights. The concept isn't entirely new, we've seen it in games like Grounded, but the medieval knight angle adds a fresh twist. The puzzles using everyday objects look promising, and the perspective makes familiar places feel like unexplored territory. The combat seems basic, but works well enough with the size-based mechanics. The real question is whether they can keep coming up with interesting ways to use the size difference. Mika and the Witch's Mountain keeps things simple. You're a witch delivering packages on your broomstick. The art clearly takes inspiration from Studio Ghibli, and the flying mechanics feel natural once you get used to them. There's no combat or complex systems to learn, just you, your broom, and deliveries to make. Weather affects how you fly, which adds some challenge, but don't expect anything too difficult. The story is pretty basic, following Mika as she learns to be a proper witch. If you're looking for something laid back with nice visuals, this could be your thing. The focus on peaceful gameplay is refreshing. Tchia's main hook is the ability to possess animals and objects, which sounds gimmicky, but actually works pretty well. The New Caledonia setting means lots of tropical islands to explore, and the movement feels fluid whether you're climbing, gliding, or swimming. The possession mechanic lets you solve problems creatively. Why climb when you can become a bird? The ukulele minigame feels unnecessary, and some areas seem a bit empty. Combat is basic when it shows up, but that's not really the focus. The game shines when you're just exploring and experimenting with different animals and objects. S.T.A.L.K.E.R Overdrive tries bringing space trading to Switch with a pixel art style. You're moving cargo between stations, choosing between safe legal runs and risky illegal ones. The roguelike elements mean death is permanent, which can be frustrating when a good run goes bad. Ship upgrades give you something to work toward, but the trading mechanics aren't very deep. The pixel art looks nice, and the controls are solid, but don't expect elite dangerous levels of complexity. It's more pick up and play than serious space sim. The procedural generation helps with replayability, but can make runs feel samey. Hey, quick pause here. If you're enjoying this look at some of Switch's finest games, hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Let me know in the comments which of these games you've played or are excited to try. Now, let's continue with our lineup. S.T.A.L.K.E.R brings its trilogy to Switch, and it's an interesting port choice. These games are from 2007 to 2009, so expect some dated mechanics and rough edges. You explore Chernobyl's radiation-filled zone, dealing with mutants and supernatural anomalies. The atmosphere is still incredible. Wandering the zone feels tense and mysterious. Resource management and survival elements can be clunky but add to the experience. The Switch version might struggle with performance given how demanding these games were on PC. If you can handle some jank, there's nothing quite like S.T.A.L.K.E.R's mix of survival and horror. Biped 2 sticks to what worked in the first game, controlling a robot's legs with separate sticks. It's deliberately awkward, but that's what makes it fun, especially in co-op. The puzzles aren't particularly challenging on their own, but coordinating your movement adds the real difficulty. Playing solo with AI is fine, but lacks the laughs that come from messing up with a friend. The game's pretty short, maybe 5 or 6 hours, and some mechanics feel recycled from the first game. The new environments look nice and add some variety, but don't expect a massive evolution from the original. Tears of the Kingdom expands on Breath of the Wild's foundation, with new building mechanics and a bigger world. The building system is deep if you want to get into it, but you can ignore most of it and still finish the game. The map is huge, split between sky islands, surface level, and underground areas. Some shrines and tasks get repetitive, but the freedom to solve problems creatively keeps things interesting. Performance can be spotty, especially in busy areas or with complex builds. The story's better than the first game, but still takes a backseat to exploration. Architect Life takes the house-building parts of The Sims and makes them the main focus. You're designing homes while managing client requests and budgets. The building tools work well enough, but don't expect professional-level architecture software. There's a decent variety of furniture and decorations, though some basic items are locked behind progression. The career mode adds structure, but the challenges can get repetitive. The game runs smoothly on Switch, which is nice for a building game. If you love designing houses but don't care about the life simulation stuff, this might be for you. Sea Fantasy puts the usual city builder formula underwater, which adds some interesting wrinkles to familiar mechanics. Managing oxygen and dealing with water pressure creates unique challenges, but the core gameplay will feel familiar to genre fans. The underwater setting affects how you expand your city, with vertical building being as important as horizontal. Resource chains are more complex due to the aquatic setting, which is cool. The graphics aren't pushing any boundaries, but the underwater effects look decent enough. Don't expect revolutionary changes to the city builder formula. Hey, let me know what you think about these games. Maybe you've played some and have a different take, or maybe something here caught your eye. Drop a comment, let's chat about it. See you in the next one.